Somehow, among the crazy people, I found a single iota of hope with my soul to say, I'll succeed. I'll be the best I can for my mother, for my neighbor, for a stranger, for anyone in need. Tattooing helped me regain control and afforded me to help people just as I needed help. I stand fast, waiting each day I might help refuge or impact a life in a positive way through my art. So, let's start at the beginning. I was raised in Linden, New Jersey, right off Route 1 and 9. And oddly enough, right in my backyard was Tattooville. I remember walking in there when I was 6 years old to the towering and overwhelming flash all over the walls. The first tattoo I ever seen was a Sailor Jerry tiger. I thought to myself, holy shit, behind those doors, that is what's going on in there. One of the biggest influences in my life was definitely my grandfather. He really molded my moral code and taught me respect. My mother, she had the most influence on me growing up. She went through more shit than I feel any woman should have to in her lifetime. I didn't really know what was going on with my mother until later on in life. I just understood that we're constantly in hospitals for checkups. She was doing everything she could to make ends meet and put food on our table. So I knew we didn't have the money to buy things for me to be fucking doodling on, so I just grabbed every sheet of paper and pencil I possibly could from every doctor's office and tried to figure it out on my own that way.
That's more than fucking biting the knuckles, you know? Yeah, you're just gonna have to sit still. That's the only thing that matters.
I found enough reasons throughout my life in New Jersey to decide that it was time for me to leave. So one semester before graduation, I left to Florida. I got my GED, I started construction, I made it through college, becoming a firefighter EMT, all the while still tattooing. By 2002, I was fully into the shops. In 2006, my daughter Fiona was born. Life was amazing. In the end, my purpose was doing a badass tattoo every single time I pick up this machine. However glorified this may sound, it was ended very quickly at 30 miles an hour on a Ducati 749 Superbike. He said, well, right now, what we're looking at is that you have what we can see is 3, but possibly 5 disc herniations, and you have a calcium buildup in 2 spots on C5 and 6. We're suggesting that you don't pick up over 10 pounds. And I thought at that moment, like, what's over 10 pounds? And I was like, my daughter's like a year old or whatever. I'm thinking, well, I'm not supposed to pick her up, and I really broke down. It was a difficult moment, and of course, you just easy out. What is it? Painkillers, right? So, here we are. Fire department is out because I was a liability, and tattooing is now at a halt. Not soon after, I welcomed Florida's pain management. The palm trees and beaches I once thought I escaped to were now phantoms of my mind. The blue skies and oranges were now illusions of blue oxycodones and orange suboxones. And it didn't take long for me to find out that this is an easy way to make money. Now, I am full speed into hell. From that point on, it was just really a roller coaster of me grabbing friends, associates, whoever I could, run them to a doctor, give them a copy of my own MRI, Photoshop's great for switching names. I got a lot of people wrapped up in my mess. Between using on and off, selling on and off, it had finally caught up with me through a phone call from a bail bondsman notifying me of a warrant for my arrest. The Florida District Attorney, Brandon White, he was giving me their only offer of 30 to 60 years minimum mandatory for trafficking. That right there, that settled down on me pretty fucking hard. I had 2 options here: run and never come home, or go to prison for life. I thought about my daughter bearing the burden of having me as a father. I thought about all the missed time, and I have no control at this point. That night, I just really got, I think, to a point of schizophrenia. I mean, I was just like so a mess. I made a choice. 2 grams of heroin to the head, and I thought that would do it. Unlike most of those people that OD'd because of their addiction, I consciously chose to take my life. That's really fucked up on so many levels. And when I say that, you know, it's a scary thing, and I can't say which one outweighed the other and the pros and cons, but I can tell you that from this point, you know, I look back at it and just say it's just really another learning experience. But the moment you wake up, you realize 13 days have gone by, and I was, you know, restrained to a bed, and I couldn't make a single sound because of intubation tube. I was on like whatever medications they had been giving me and things like that, and I'm trying to ask, you know, like what the hell happened and all this, because I couldn't really make sense of it all. But the parts that I could is, yeah, I know I just tried to kill myself. Yeah, I know that, you know, I had to go to court, and those were the main focuses. And the other first out every time is my daughter Fiona. I love her more than anything in the world, and you know, I'm grateful that I am here today. By the grace of God and all his repeated attempts of help, my open plea to the court led me to the judge's mercy. In the end, I had racked up 42 months of imprisonment. Everything changed that moment, and the judge's gavel rang louder than church bells on a Sunday Catholic Mass. The sound was just like taken from me. I felt like everything was just standing still for like hours. It just stopped. Time stopped. The only thing I could hear was my grandfather's voice telling me, "Do or die, semper fi." I'll spare you all the gritty details of my first years in prison. Just know it's real in all the ways you could imagine. I wrote every day, drew when I could, and very early I was recognized from back home as a tattoo artist. In a makeshift tattoo machine, that was in full speed. Here I am, you know, in prison every day. That's what I did. I focus in on artwork. You know, people have different outlets, I think, in there to keep busy and keep time moving. You know, time stands still when you're in there. From tattooing inmates to tattooing guards, I walked out on August 1st, 2014, with that machine in my hand. Being driven into seclusion for 4 years, 2 objectives became principal. 1, become the best father to an innocent daughter I left behind. And 2, become the baddest motherfucker to ever wield a tattoo machine. It's now coming up on 5 years since then, and my daughter lives with me full-time every single day. I've been sober since the day of my incarceration, and I don't plan on looking back. Each year, my art has grown more popular within the community, and I truly, truly thank everyone for their support. People love me, and I have learned to love interaction as I continue to push on each day to be a better father, a better tattoo artist, and a better me. Do or die, semper fi.